Hello, hello. Hey, I just made it right on time. I had to run use the washroom really quick. But hey, everybody, good afternoon. How's it going? This is hashtag TNT JoeFi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. This is episode something something because I lost count. And this is also day something something in quarantine because I have completely lost count. It's almost unbelievable that it is July. To think that summer is what, kind of like almost halfway in, and there really hasn't been much of a summer. At least for me, there hasn't been. I haven't done much but work, which I guess is fine because it keeps me busy. But it's weird. It's weird not having a real summer. It's weird not going to festivals in Chicago and not doing what I've been used to doing. But anyway, I do want to thank everybody for stopping by. Sorry, I got like a mask in my pocket. I had to go run to the post office today and ship some masks out for my mom. Anyway, welcome everybody. How's it going? I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad that you made it. It's always nice to have you guys stop in and say hello and talk tech, and that's what we're going to do today. So let me go ahead and get into chat here. Max Tech Studios, the very first to come in. Yay, I made it. Max Tech Studios, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Hey, everyone. Hey, Max. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by. Levin is in here as well. What up, stream? What up, Levin? How's it going? Hey, Levin, I sent you a DM on IG. I gave you a link to the Discord. So whenever you get a chance, feel free to click that link. I won't be able to add you into the server until I get a chance. So probably after the stream. But Levin, hey, how's it going? Appreciate you stopping by. Team Varai is in here as well, tuning in while picking up my wife from work. Hi, everyone. Hey, Team Varai, how's it going? Appreciate you making it, even though you're driving around or doing what you need to do, or if you meant picking up your wife as in you went to go. Because I remember last time we talked, I think you were doing something similar and you were just whatever you're doing, team, thank you for checking in. Yeah, Levin, it's in the way. It's in the way for everyone. I saw an article today and they were saying it's not a wave, it's a tsunami. And that sounds just about right. It's crazy, everything that's going on, and it makes me very sad. And anyway, you want to hear some good news though? Let's switch up, and I will give you some good news. I purchased, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I purchased the Huawei P40 Pro Plus for 1,040 pounds, which ended up being about $1,300 US. I purchased that yesterday from Wanda Mobile, and I think they're based out in the UK. And this morning, I got a notification that says they shipped it already and that it'll be at my doorstep on Monday, which is crazy because the holiday is this Saturday. Well, the holiday here in the US for 4th of July, but it says it's going to come Monday, DHL. That's ridiculous because when I bought the phone, I picked the free shipping and it said 9 to 12 business days. So I wasn't even going to be expecting this phone until next week. And now it's saying that it's coming this Monday. So that's exciting news. I am really looking forward to this Huawei P40 Pro Plus. I don't know if you guys, I know there were a couple of people yesterday who caught my evening stream on a different channel, but I was talking about the P40 Pro Plus, and we had a really good conversation about privacy and where Huawei is and its ties to China's government or China's state. I don't really know the specific words I'm trying to say here, but it was a really good conversation. And, it was nice to see both sides. And it was like, well, really, are they a threat or are they not a threat? It's something that I have to maybe spend more time on. And it was a different demographic I was talking to there, but it was a really interesting conversation. Actually, somebody in that chat had brought up Linux phones, like the Palm 64, and I forget what the other one was, Pine 64, not Palm 64. And it's not something I've ever looked in. And it was nice to get a different perspective from other people. Not that your perspective, guys, isn't important, because it's just as important, but it's always nice to hear from other people as well and see what they have to say about certain things. Anyway, we're gonna get into the stories today. There are a couple things to talk about. Team Verizon saying I was just walking again. There you go. Max Tech Studios plugging in here. I'm doing a hashtag smartphone Kahoot live tomorrow at 6:30 Central. Max, thank you. I'm sure if there are people who want to check it out, will. So let's see here. Deepak Murthy, hello. Deepak, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Welcome. Okay, Levin says, damn, I forgot about the stream last night. Don't worry about it. It was weird streaming on a different channel. At the beginning of the stream, I felt like I was cheating on my own channel, but I was also super nervous because there were at one point it was like 25 to 30 people, because the other channel has a bigger audience of people or live stream people. So it was weird talking to a different demographic because I wasn't sure how they were going to take it. Not that it really matters, because I'm not going to change what I say and how I say it. I'm always just going to be me. But it was weird jitters at the beginning, but I got used to it. And then I was myself towards like the middle and the end of it. So anyway, Y 2019. Hi. Hey, Y, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Ruben is in here as well. What's up, everyone? Sorry I missed the stream last night. Ruben, don't worry, man. Don't worry. If you guys do want to check it out, I think I left a link in the community tab to the channel, and you'll see I think the stream is up and live there if you guys want to take a look at it. It was different. I talked about different things, but I also talked about similar things I talked about here, just to a different audience. So anyway, everybody, welcome. So we have a couple stories today, and there is a continuation of a story that I wanted to get into first, and it was what we were talking about yesterday, and that had to do with the Pixel 3a showing out of stock on the Google Store. So there were a bunch of articles today talking about how the Pixel 3a is confirmed that it is being discontinued. Google says it's been discontinued, and I think they said the only place you can get a new Pixel 3a now at this point is from third-party vendors. I don't know if anybody here was trying to buy one, but if you are trying to look for one, you might try to snag one up from, a third-party retailer if you are trying to get one at this point. But it's really interesting because yesterday I had that hunch that maybe with the 3A going out of stock, that the 4A might be on its way. And it kind of looks like it might be. I think other articles are starting to report on the same thing, that, hey, maybe this is really a telltale sign that the 4A is coming. So, or like Team Verizon said yesterday, now all the 3A and the 4A phones, there's none can be found. There's no more cheap Google phones to be found because the Pixel 4 is back up again at $800. So, this article from Ars Technica says, will the Pixel 4a ever come out? RIP to the Google Pixel 3a, which is officially discontinued. The Pixel 4a missed its May launch date. Now Google isn't selling any budget phones. Google is no longer selling cheap phones. At least that's the temporary situation the company is in now, thanks to the probably planned discontinuation of the Pixel 3a and the definitely unplanned delays of its successor, the Pixel 4a. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking is this discontinuation. I think that was something that they were planning on doing. For me, though, I don't think that they were just going to plan to discontinue it without having the 4A come up. This 4A is coming. At least I think it's coming. I have a feeling it's probably going to come by mid-month or by the end of the month. Don't mark my words. This is me putting out a guess, but I think that 4A is going to be out here by the end of this month. Anyone want to take bets? 9 to 5 Google first noticed that the phone was pulled from the Google store yesterday, and Google confirmed to several outlets that the phone is officially no longer for sale. Google was supposed to have a replacement by now. Google's new cheap phone, the 4A, was expected to be announced at Google I/O 2020, the same show that launched the Pixel 3A. That would have happened in May, and while the pandemic put a stop to Google I/O and every other public gathering, that still doesn't quite explain why it's July now and the Pixel 4a is still missing in action. It's possible that Google is having I guess COVID-related supply issues. I don't know if that's really the case, but other manufacturers like HTC, Motorola, and Huawei have had launches lately. You know what? What if the delay is because they were just trying to dry the supply of the 3A? I mean, is that a possible thing? Maybe they were like, hey, we still have a lot of 3As to sell. Let's put these up on clearance and get them out. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. I feel like that doesn't matter. I'm sure that they could move the 3A even if they, I'm sure they could have moved it. They could have just slapped it on sale, dropped another $50, $60, whatever, and I'm sure it would have flown off shelves. The Pixel 3a launched in May 2019 and was a real crowd pleaser. After killing the Nexus line and only selling expensive Pixel phones for years, Google returned to the budget market with the $400 device. The cheaper phone had the same great camera as the more expensive Pixel 3 and the same great Google Android build with a 3-year update plan. There were only small budget concessions like a slightly slower SoC and a plastic body, but neither of those were a major downside. I don't know. I don't really 100% agree with that, but you gotta cut a couple corners here if you want to keep that camera and keep a lower price point. So Google's cheap phone was maybe a little too good. I don't know. I think it's fair. I wouldn't say too good. I think it's a great value. Or maybe the expensive phones were not good enough. That makes a lot more sense. There wasn't much reason to pick a more expensive Pixel 3 or 4 over a Pixel 3a. And we've had this discussion before. From what we've seen of the Pixel 4a, the phone looks like it will be one of the best options for a budget Android phone. In the wider market, the Pixel 4a will face harsher competition than ever in the form of Apple's iPhone SE. I've said this before. I feel like the iPhone SE is the only competitor right now at the $400 price point. The Pixel 4a won't stand a chance when it comes to performance. Apple's $400 phone is faster than even the most expensive Android phones. The Pixel 4a will need to rely on a bigger screen and more modern design. In the Android market, it will also have to do battle with OnePlus's upcoming mid-range device, the oddly named OnePlus Nord, which is expected to launch sometime this month. While the phone is no longer for sale, the Pixel 3a will still, of course, get software updates. The end of life for software support is scheduled for May 2022. I do want to continue on, though, and then I'll get into chat, but this article from GSM Arena is talking about the Pixel 4, and this just is a great segue into the discontinuation of the Pixel 3a and the fact that now the Google Pixel 4a gets more certifications, 3140 milliamp hour battery and 18-watt charging confirmed. So this 3140 milliamp hour battery, how much bigger is this than the 3a? Is the 3a 2980? Do I have that correct? Is that figure correct? So a little bit of a bigger battery this time for the 4a. And then I don't know what the charging was on the 3a, but I'm assuming this is faster as well. 18 watts isn't super fast, but it's still welcome than, you know, your typical slower charge on a smartphone, or at least a budget smartphone or mid-range phone or whatever you want to call it. Google is still withholding any info on the Pixel 4a. But while we're waiting for the phone to go official, it managed to pass through more certification agencies. This time it was Taiwan's NCC and TÜV Rheinland that revealed the phone will come with a 3140 milliamp hour battery and 18-watt charger. I'm guessing this is where they found all of that, right? I'm trying to see where it even has the size of the battery, but I don't know, maybe they got that from somewhere else. Anyway, the charger is spotted. Oh, it's right here with these model numbers, while the battery bears whatever name this is and reveals it's got a 3140 milliamp hour typical and 3080 milliamp hour rated capacity. Oh, how does that work? I don't even know how that works. According to the most current speculations, the 4a will sport a 5.81-inch FHD plus OLED display, Snap 730 single rear camera. Again, this will be the camera that, you know, the main shooter that you find in the Pixel 4. It's expected to come with 4 gigs of RAM. I thought it was going to come with 6 gigs of RAM. Am I mistaken? Are we mistaken? From almost everything I've read, I thought it was coming with 6 gigs of RAM. And it says here, and 64 gigs or 128 gigs of storage. Again, this 64 gigs is something that I haven't talked about in a minute, because from everything I've been reading Snapdragon 730, 6 gigs of RAM, not 4, and 128 gigs of internal storage for $350, which is a hell of a deal. That is a great deal. That's a great bargain phone. I would probably recommend that phone all day. I've said that many times. And that's why I would get that. I would buy this phone on day one just to see how good this phone is and see how much better or worse it is compared to my Pixel 4 that is now vibrating because I don't know what happened here. Anyway, this year we won't be getting an XL variant, but the regular version should be coming any moment now. So, yeah, with that being said, with the 3A being discontinued, with this 4A getting more certifications, passing FCC, all that kind of stuff, I just feel like that this Pixel 4A is coming. And hopefully this month, hopefully for sale this month. And that'll be great. I'd buy one in a hurry, and I would probably recommend it to many people if these are the specs that it's going to come with. If it comes with 6 gigs of RAM, if it comes with 128 gigs of internal storage, and if it's priced at $350. Now, if it has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage, and that's $350, I guess it's not the worst deal in the world, but maybe then they'd have a 128 gig version for $400. Hopefully that's not the case. Really, I think Google could, I think they'll kill it if they kill it by doing well. I mean, if they give a 6 gig variant of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage. Like I just feel like we should just ditch the 64 gig internal storage at this point and then price it at 350. Google should set an example like some other companies have at this point and saying, no, we can do 128 gigs. We can do a Snap 730, 6 gigs of RAM, and we can do it at a great price. And if Google can set that example, that would be great, because the iPhone SE is still, it has a great chipset, but the iPhone SE at 64 gigs of internal storage is still $400, and then $450 for 128 gigs of internal storage. While that's not the worst deal in the world, I think if Google wants to kind of like really set itself apart and give people more of a decision-making factor in buying a phone, let's say if they're debating over a Pixel 4a and an iPhone SE, dropping that price to $350 with 128 gigs of internal storage might really make someone's decision in buying a Pixel 4a over an iPhone SE. At least I think so. So, okay, let me get into chat here. Let me go ahead and say hi to everybody, anybody that I missed. Paul Hendricks is here. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Today took a trip to Amsterdam with public transport, first since March 12th. Wow. You know what, Paul? Paul, welcome, by the way. I think that was around the same time. That was the last time I took public transit, probably in the beginning half of March. How did that go? Was it weird? Was it empty? Man, I miss public transportation. I really do. It's what I rely on in the city of Chicago, and I don't, it's not. Yeah. Anyway, Paul, hi. Welcome. Yeah, nice. Although mask a hassle. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Selwonk, hey, Selwonk, how's it going, man? Rip Pixel 3a. Yeah, but if the 4a is coming, that's a welcome rip for me. If the 4a is coming, Team Verizon says would have been nice if they sold it longer. Personally, I feel attacked. But you got one, right? You got a 3a, so you're good, right? Y 2019 says kind of dumb decision unless the 4a is really close to release. Yeah, no, that's the thing. And I guess we can save our insults in the next week or two to see if they're really gonna be releasing this phone. I can't remember what article I read it at, but I think it was July 13th is when they were expected to announce the phone, right? July 13th. And whether or not they're going to sell it on July 13th, or at least say, hey, we're going to, you can pre-order it starting today or starting Friday, or however they want to do it, and we'll start shipping it out by the end of the month. That would be great, but none of us know. All of us are in the dark about it. Deepak says, I really hope the 4a will be released before September. Me too. I think it will, though. If I was a betting man, I would say that they are probably going to release it this month. Maybe that's just me being very optimistic. So we'll see. Wise says if it releases in October, then this would be a huge money loss for Google. I agree. Wise says no bets from me. Want to buy Paper Mario Origami King? I saw that trailer for that. Looks pretty good. I'm not much of an RPG guy, but I always love that kind of aesthetic in gaming, especially with Paper Mario. Solwong says iPhone 12 shipments stopped at India Customs. Really? I didn't even see that. I didn't see that. I'll have to look into that. Okay, let me see here. Deepak says Apple made a genius move with the SE release during the tough times of the pandemic. People don't want to spend tons of money on smartphones. And I agree. That's why I'm still very perplexed at why the 4A didn't get released, even though, at least from what we've been hearing, they had the chance to release it. Whether it was really supply issues or not, I guess we'll never know. But if they were really just holding on to it for marketing reasons, then that's the bigger question there. Y says, now finally it is time for 4A hype. The Pixel 3a had a 3000 milliamp hour, so a 140 milliamp hour upgrade, so it's not by much. But thank you for sharing that. Hopkins says, hey Hopkins, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. If $350 slash euros, I am in. Me too. I'm okay with 4 gigs of RAM. 128 gigs of storage is definitely needed. I also agree. While I would love to just have 6 gigs of RAM just because, I'm sure 4 gigs would be okay. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I won't know until I really get it. Solwonk says, I'm guessing the parts are coming from China. India and China are not getting along at the moment. That's why, right. That's why like 50 something apps have been banned in India right now that are Chinese apps, I'm guessing, right? TikTok being one of the main ones. Yeah, Deepak says India has banned TikTok and WeChat. Y says, I think there may be a 64 gig version at like 329. Maybe the 128 will be at 379. That wouldn't be bad either. I mean, I would be fine with those prices. Hopkins says, do you have City Bike in Chicago? So here in Chicago, they're not called city bikes. They're called, why am I forgetting the name of it now? It starts with a, Jesus, why am I forgetting what they're called? I'm having a brain fart moment here, but we do have one and we've had them for a while. I'm Googling it right now because I forgot. I don't use a Divvy. They're called Divvy bikes. And they're like they're in the light blue Chicago color. And it's funny because we have like specialty ones too. Some of them might be all red or all yellow. And those are hard to find. They're just all over the city. But yeah, we have Divvy bikes. They're not electric or anything like that, but they're cheap. I do have my own bike. I actually just bought a new bike recently. And that's the thing is like I ride my bike in the city of Chicago a lot. And the last bike I had got stolen in the city. It got stolen right in front of my apartment and it was awful. And so now I will never lock my bike up again overnight because that's where, I mean, I put $100 lock on it. It was like 3 inches of steel. And they still cut into that, and I should have known better. But anyway, yeah, we do have these bikes in Chicago, but they're Divvies, not city bikes. And now I think Lyft bought them, so now they have Lyft insignia or branding on it. So, okay, let me go through the rest of the chat here. Jed Baldwin, hey Jed, I don't think I've seen you in here before. Welcome to the stream. Do you think they'll let me trade in my 3A? Do you think who will let you trade it in, or are you saying that? Do you think Google will let you return it? If you're still in that window and you think the 4A might be coming out later this month, maybe you should just do that now instead of waiting for the 4A. Otherwise, I don't know if they're going to just do that because the 4A came out and you bought the 3A before the 4A was released. But Jed, if anything, if you think the 4A is coming out, I mean, I can't tell you for sure. We don't know. But if you're having second thoughts and you want to spend, money on the 4A, maybe return the 3A for now if you have a second phone. That's kind of a tough call because none of us really know when the 4A is coming out. But Jed, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the question. Team Verizon says, the longer Google delays the 4A, the more I am tempted to get an SE, to be honest. I mean, I can't blame you. In the same respect, I don't know. What are your priorities, Team Verizon? I mean, the camera is really good on the SE, but the 4A is going to have a better camera. And the 4A is probably going to have a better battery, and it has a better display, and it has a rear fingerprint reader. I don't know. But then, this SE has a really good performing chipset, and it's going to have really good support. So let me know what you end up deciding. That's a tough call. That is a tough call. Deepak says, I got the SE with a nice little iPhone, very fast, and cameras are very good. There you go. And exactly kind of what I was trying to say, just in Deepak has it in a more succinct way. So let's go ahead and continue here. But before I do, really quick, guys, before I get on to the next story, if you guys haven't had a chance, for anybody who's listening, please click that like button. I hate being that guy, but clicking that like button helps, I think, algorithmically. I think it helps people find the stream, find, what's going on here. And it helps with the community, helps more people talk in chat, have a conversation. So if you haven't had a chance, do click that like button. I do stream weekdays, Mondays through Fridays. So if you haven't had a chance, and you're not a subscriber, please consider being a subscriber. That's just another way to support me, and it's free. And it would be helpful. So please, if you have a chance, feel free and do that. Let us continue on though. Let's go ahead. I see chat coming in here. Let's see. Y says the battery is better than what was expected before, since it was rumored to be a 3080 milliamp hour. So it is a pleasant surprise. That's good to know. Darkman X2G. How's it going? Welcome. You're not tempted. Who's not? I lost count of what we're talking about. 4A over the SE for sure is what Darkman is saying. Team Variety is saying decisions. Y says also, Jerome, you should check out a rumored Moto G 5G. Why that is a wonderful segue. Do you know why that's a wonderful segue? Because that's my next story. And the thing I mentioned on the Honor X10 Max and Dimensity 1000 is not confirmed. That's also another story I have. It's not the next one, but the Moto G 5G is my next. And I just didn't mean to move it like that, but whatever. Here we go. So the Moto G and 5G Plus is coming soon. And image renders leaked. I don't know much about this phone, so and I haven't read this article, so let's get into it. Motorola is all ready to launch the Moto G 5G and Moto G 5G Plus phones targeted toward the mid-range market. So here we go again with another phone that is going to have a Snapdragon 765 chipset. There are a lot of these phones that are going to come now with the 765 chipset, and it's good because it's a good way to have competition and then kind of compare and see what's worth getting. The phones are expected to be released at Motorola's launch event on July 7th, so 5 days from now, which is not that far. These smartphones have 5G connectivity, and this points towards a Qualcomm Snapdragon 765 powering the guts. Again, the 765 is going to be in the Pixel 5, rumored to be in the Pixel 5. It's in the LG Velvet. It should be coming in the now confirmed OnePlus Nord. So there's going to be a slew of phones having the 765 chipset. And I think really the only other things to compare these phones from others is how good are the cameras, how big is the battery, and maybe what other defining features might be on the phone that separates it from the rest. And then price point, right? Now that the device image renders are incoming via trusted leakster Evan Blass, we can expect them to be revealed at the event. Evan tweeted about the presence of the Moto G 5G phone along with the image renders. Then earlier today, he tweeted in the same thread about the presence of Moto G 5G Plus phone. So I guess a bigger variant. Although no images of the Plus model were tweeted, it should be more or less similar to the Moto G 5G model. Coming on the Moto G 5G phone, it's going to have a full HD resolution, 90 hertz screen, having an aspect ratio of 21:9. It looks like a lot of these it looks like a lot of these Snapdragon 765 chipsets are coming with 90 hertz screens as the default. The image clearly shows the presence of dual punch hole cameras on the top left-hand corner. So right here, that doesn't really look the best to me. You guys know I am not the biggest fan of punch holes or notches or anything like that, but what control do we have? It's that, or you find a phone that has a pop-up selfie cam, but I haven't seen any of those on a Snapdragon 765 yet, right? I don't think any phone has that. So probably an 8 megapixel primary selfie and 2 megapixel depth sensor on the rear. The phone will have a quad camera setup, 48 megapixel Samsung GM1 sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 4 megapixel macro, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The Android 10 power device will have a side mounted fingerprint. Okay, that's different. And a dedicated AI button for launching apps or actions. That's good too. The one thing that I really want to see in more phones is having a dedicated physical button for Google Assistant, or just something that you could customize. I like that. I don't know. I think it's really handy to have. It'll have a 4,800 milliamp hour battery. That's a huge battery, and an expected 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, which can be expanded via micro SD card slot. Given these specifications, the device should be in the price range of $350 to $500. I'm not really feeling the lower internal storage, but if it has a micro SD slot, I guess that's beneficial for people who use that. I haven't used a micro SD slot in a while on a phone. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've really used one. The one thing I'm really excited about with the Huawei P40 Pro Plus that I ordered is the fact that it comes with 512 gigs of internal storage. That's ridiculous. On my iPhone 11 Pro that I use as my main shooter, because I do so much video and audio, or so much video and photos on it, I'm always running out of internal storage, and I always have to clean out my Photos app and get rid of all the pictures. I mean, it all goes to the cloud anyway, which I guess is nice, but it's nice to know that I could also have all my photos and videos on one device. And the Huawei P40 Pro Plus to have 512 gigs, I'm kind of excited having that much storage on the phone. But yes, that is the story about the Moto G 5G, the Moto G 5G Plus. Is anybody curious about that? Would anybody spend money on that over a OnePlus Nord with the same Snapdragon 765? Would you just wait for the Pixel 5 that's going to have the same chipset? Would you get an LG Velvet instead? There's a lot of options coming out with the Snapdragon 765 chipset. So I think the options, or at least the choice, is going to be there for people. Oh, geez. Levin Williams with a $2 super chat. Levin, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Levin, coming in heavy lately with the super chats. Levin, thank you so much. How long will Moto give updates for the phone? That's also a really good question. Knowing Moto's track record lately when it comes to updates, I think 2 years is the best we can hope for. But a lot of people think sometimes you're only going to get 1 year of updates with a Moto phone. And people have also said, well, maybe you can get 2 years worth of updates, but who knows how long those updates are going to take to drop. And I think that would be like saying Google Pixels will give you 3 years of updates, but you won't get that update right away. It might take up to like 3 to 5 months. Like, that doesn't sound promising at all. That would make me steer away from a phone knowing if the updates are going to come super late. But Levin, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you for the support, man. Thank you. Thank you. Let me scroll back up here. So Selwonk says Moto G 5G's camera hump looks like the iPhone 11. Oh, damn it. I already closed that window. Yeah, I could see that. At least from the little bit that I saw in there. So Y says, I think the normal Moto G 5G should have the 690. I mean, any reason for that? Any reason that you think it should have the six? Sorry, guys, my eyes are. Any reason you think it should have the 690 and not the 765, just to maybe drop the price, you think? Probably not many updates unless it is under the Moto 1 lineup, because they have to. That's a fair point. That's actually a really good point, Y. So thank you for sharing that. But yeah, so that's what we got when it comes to that Moto G 5G phone. All right, let's move on. We're going to go from a lower end phone, and now we're going to talk about something that is more higher end. And this is the Asus ROG Phone 3 coming on July 22nd. Last week, Asus said it will unveil the ROG Phone 3 in July, and today the Taiwanese technology company announced the gaming smartphone will arrive on July 22nd. Asus made this announcement on its official site with a countdown timer that ends on July 22nd. The launch event will be streamed online starting at 11 p.m. Asus hasn't divulged any details of the ROG Phone 3 yet, but a hands-on video that surfaced last month revealed the phone's design. You can watch it below. I love that. I'm such a sucker for lit up things on phones, and to have that lit up back and have it like RGB, right? Have it switch colors, I think is really cool. I guess it looks like it's customizable as well. I don't know. It looks cool. It looks like it has a huge screen on it too. The ROG Phone 3 was also spotted on TENAA with its full specs, which include a 6.59-inch full HD plus AMOLED screen, in-display fingerprint scanner, up to 12 gigs of RAM, and up to 256 gigs of storage, Android 10, and a 5,800 milliamp hour battery. So pretty high-end specs. Top of the line, I'm assuming, for most everything. The ROG Phone 3 will support dual mode 5G, pack an octa-core processor clocked at 3.09 gigahertz. So they're assuming that's going to be the 865 plus from Snapdragon. For photography, the ROG Phone 3 will feature a total of 4 cameras, but Tenna only tells us about 2, the 64 megapixel main camera and the 13 megapixel secondary module. However, the listing reveals the smartphone will come with an 8 times optical zoom. So it's safe to say that one of the 3 rear cameras will have a telephoto lens, with the last one likely having an ultra wide lens. I don't know what the price on the ROG 2 was. I'm sure this is going to be pricey. I don't know how pricey. I couldn't even give you a guess because I don't know how much the ROG Phone 2 was, but I'm assuming it's going to be pretty expensive. I'm looking at comments here. I might as well see what they have to say. They're talking about the Zenfone 7. As per XDA, ROG Phone 3 has no included headphone jack. That's kind of weird to not have a headphone jack for a phone that's slated to be a gaming phone. The only way to at least use the jack is that one ROG accessory for the phone, and at least it's not a freaking dongle. Yeah, I like this new phone, but I don't have the money. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty expensive at this point. Huh. Optical zoom 8 times. Yeah, there was no talk about the refresh rate or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just mentioning it. I'm not going to be buying this phone. It's not on my radar at all. It does look cool though. At least I can give it that. Ronaldo is in here. What's up, Jerome? What's going on, Ronaldo? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Ronaldo says it's time for the Pixel 4a to drop. You missed the whole stream earlier. That's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about the 4a. The 3a being discontinued. Now the 4a getting certified with passing FCC. And I just talked about how the 4a got certified, showing what battery is in it. But Ronaldo says it's time for the Pixel 4a to drop. I need to pick one for my mom here. Pixel 2 XL Panda is getting old and the battery is getting up there. Yeah. So I will say this, Ronaldo. Oh, Jesus, Ronaldo with a huge super chat. Ronaldo, real quick, what I was saying, and here's my guess, Ronaldo. I feel like the Pixel 3a got put out of stock yesterday. I feel like it got planned. This is something that we read in the article as well, because the 4a is coming. My guess, my hope is that the 4a will get announced this month. July 13th, I think, is what they were saying. But I am hoping that they will get it ready to ship by the end of the month. That's my guess. And if it does, I will be buying it, hopefully at a $350 price point, but we'll see. Ronaldo saying, I missed a lot of streams, but I'll definitely be here more days. Ronaldo, I mean, I appreciate if you can, I mean, your support, you being here, being a YouTube member, like all of that is, it's great, man. So like, whenever you can get here, it's always nice to have a community and have you guys be part of like what I'm doing. So I appreciate it. Also, I don't think I told you I picked up a Pixel 4 XL for a sweet deal. Well, I saw you and Big House talking about that. I think you said you got a Pixel 4 XL for like $450, which is that's a great deal. That's an awesome pickup for that price. I mean, who wouldn't pick up a phone? I would be hard pressed to not pick up on a 4XL for $450. That's such a great deal. But Ronaldo with the $13 super chat, thank you so much, man. Thank you for that support. That's such a huge super chat. A lot of you guys lately have been dropping bigger super chats, and I'm very appreciative. You guys on Friday dropped a bunch of super chats to help with the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. Right? The Huawei P40 Pro Plus fund, which I ended up buying. Ronaldo, I don't know if you saw that. I ended up buying the Huawei P40 Pro Plus for 1,040 pounds, which is $1,300 US, about 1,300. And I, part of that was helped because of you guys. So thank you guys so much for that support. So stay tuned for many videos coming with that. Actually, what I'm going to be doing with that Huawei P40 Pro Plus is I will be unboxing that live on stream. So that'll be fun. That'll be a fun stream for sure. But Ronaldo, again, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me scroll back up here and make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Aaron is in here. Aaron, how's it going, man? Welcome. I heard iPhone 12 might get rid of the charger in the box. Is it true, Aaron? That was not only the charger, but the ear pods as well. So neither of them. That is the rumor. I could see that happening. So for someone like me, and for maybe a lot of us here in chat, I think it might not be the biggest deal because we probably have a lot of them. But for people who are just upgrading phones every 2 years or whatever, that might be more of a bigger hit for them. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it because for me, it's like, well, I didn't want a 5-watt charger anyway. I wasn't going to use a 5-watt charger. But it would have been better if Apple actually included, the 18-watt charger that they've been supplying in the iPhone 12 or the iPhone 11 Pro. That's what I was hoping that they were going to supply it with. That's what they were going to do. But now I don't think that they've been, I think the recent reports are saying, no, we're just not going to ship anything at all. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't know if you're asking, Aaron, because that's a deal breaker for you. I don't know if it would be a deal breaker for some, but I'm for sure I know it's a frustration or an annoyance for a lot of other people. But Aaron Jude, welcome, man. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Levin Williams with a $5 super chat. Levin, you're crazy, man. You're crazy with these super chats. Jeez. Can't wait to see the contents of the P40 Pro Plus. The P40 Pro. I can't either. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it comes with a UK charger, so I won't be able to use that at all, but I'm looking forward to it. I haven't watched any videos of anyone unboxing a Huawei. You guys know how I do. I don't really watch a lot of other tech YouTubers. And plus I've just been so busy lately. I just haven't had time, but I'm excited. I'm super excited for the phone. But Levin, thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Rolling in with these super chats. You guys are crazy. Okay, let me see here. Y says the Poco F3 will have to cost like 699 euros because of the extremely expensive 875. I wouldn't be surprised. I guess we'll see what they're going to do at that point. Ronaldo says, I'm glad that you got the Huawei phone, a great device. I'm really excited, Ronaldo. I'm really excited to see what I have in store. And as far as the cameras and just, I want to see how good the build quality is with the ceramic. I'm really excited for it. Do you know when the P40 will arrive? Why? I said earlier in my stream. So when I purchased that phone yesterday, and when I purchased that phone, I picked the free shipping method that said 9 to 12 business days. And then this morning, I got a text on my phone that said it's coming this Monday. So next Monday, I should be getting it. I probably won't have it for the stream unless it comes before I start streaming. And if it does, that's great. I'll unbox it then. And that will change the entire stream for that day, but we'll see. So, Brian with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you, man. Brian with the continued support as always, probably 80 plus super chats in a row, probably coming into 90. But Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for that support. Thank you for always being in these streams, moderating, doing what you do, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you. I know you're probably busy doing stuff right now, but thank you for dropping by and always putting that support in there. Paul says, Marquez had a really good informative video on ChargerGate. I'll have to take a look at that. I'm sure he has good thoughts on it. I haven't had a chance to. Again, I really don't watch a lot of other tech videos, so I'll have to give that a shot and see what's going on with that. Deepak says removing the accessories is not a problem for the Western world, but elsewhere it could be. That's a really great point too. I didn't think about that. And I love the fact that we have a very big international kind of like group here, because it's a good way to remember that, like, hey, it's not just about what's happening in the US. There are other implications everywhere else as well. So Deepak, thank you for sharing that. Okay, guys, let's move on. So we talked about the Raagh Phone 3. We talked about the Moto 5G, the Moto G 5G, right? We talked about the Pixel 3a being discontinued, the 4a hopefully coming. And then I have this article here on the Honor X10 Max 5G. That is a very long name for a phone. The reason I did want to talk about this phone is because it looks like it has a gigantic display with a 7.09-inch IPS LCD and Dimensity 800 chipset. Honor unveiled the anticipated large-screen X10 Max 5G after several weeks of teasers. It's built around a 7.09-inch IPS LCD with FHD plus resolution and a water drop notch for its 8-megapixel selfie cam. I mean, this is just a big picture, but it just looks like a big display. The display uses an RGB matrix, which results in improved brightness compared to conventional LCDs. The panel can crank out 780 nits of brightness. So that's a really huge brightness there, and is also HDR10 compliant. The X10 Max is among the largest phones in the market. Weighing 232 grams, Honor even thinks it can serve as a portable infotainment system in your car. The phone is also equipped with dual speakers. Well, that's nice, with symmetrical cutouts on the top and bottom halves of the frame. Oh, that's great. Well, that's the earpiece. The phone is also equipped with dual speakers with symmetrical cutouts on the top and bottom halves of the frame. Okay. Anyway, powering the internals is the media. Okay. Powering the internal. I'm like getting confused on what's what. Is the internals, powering the internals is the MediaTek Dimensity 800 5G chipset paired with 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, 64 or 128 gigs of storage. The back features a square cutout for the 48 megapixel primary camera, LED flash, and 2 megapixel depth sensor. The battery comes in at 5,000 milliamp hours and supports 22.5 watt charging. On the software side, we have Magic UI 3.1 on top of Android 10. The X10 Max will be available in blue, silver, and black colors with sales in China. Look at these prices, guys. Look at these prices. Scheduled to begin tomorrow. So the base 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs configuration will sell for $269. There's also the 6 gig, 128 gig version for $297, and 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gig version for $354. These are super cheap phones. Again, I don't know how good they are. I have no idea how good this Dimensity 800 chipset is going to be, but it's a great price for a phone. I mean, these are all, hitting marks. Well, the first two under $300, but I mean, even at 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage at $354, that looks like a really great deal. How good are these phones again? I don't know, but I like to bring them up because it's a good way to at least think about these other phones that are out here at these prices and look at the heavy hitters, the big brand name phones, and kind of just be like, hey, like, is it really worth it? Or like, hey, look at what these other companies can price these phones at. I know there are pros and cons to all of it. Software support, how good these chipsets are, how good the cameras are, or anything like that. But the specs at least look pretty good. So, all right, let's move on. This article from Android Authority. This is interesting. We've talked about this before. I haven't really gotten in depth with it because there's not a lot of info about it, but the first rollable smartphone could be in your hands early next year. This is it's weird calling it rollable because it's not really, I mean, it is rollable, but you're not rolling the phone. You're taking the phone. You're taking the phone, and I think the display rolls. Yeah, I guess it rolls out. It doesn't roll like a fruit roll up, but it rolls out, and I think it's retractable, so it doesn't have to. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you have to roll it out completely, or can you roll it out partly, and it will still show the entire display and it will adjust itself. I haven't had a chance to read this article, so maybe it'll explain that. But we'll get into it. LG is working on a rollable smartphone concept dubbed Project B. The device will allow users to retract or extend the screen as needed. The company is also working on a flagship codenamed Rainbow for 2021. Not content with those not content with those glass lab form factors we now accept as traditional, LG is rolling ahead with more ambitious smartphone plans. Korean tech publication The Elec reports that LG's rollable smartphone project is called Project B, named after the company's CEO Kwon Bong-seok. I probably butchered that, but that's the best I can do. Patents discovered last month pointed to LG looking at rollable, bendable devices to join dual screen offerings like the V60 Thin Q. The company is now apparently working on prototypes of the device. The rollable screen concept would give users as much display as required thanks to a nifty scrolling system that lets users extend or retract the display as required. This form factor would likely require rejigging of components such as the battery. So the first thing that I'm sorry, I meant to switch the screen here, but the thing that I take notice of is when it says the rollable screen concept would give users as much display as required. So maybe it is true that when it says as much display as required, so if I just had to roll it out this much or whatever, then it would adjust itself for that much. If I extend it all the way, then it will adjust as well. The one thing I'm wondering is when you pull out the display, is it also flexible or is it not flexible? Like, can I actually if I pull it out, can I kind of, I'm trying to show my hand here. If I pull it out, can I kind of twist my hand so it's bendable? Now, what do I need to bend the screen for? I don't know. I'm just curious whether or not that display is going to be versatile enough. Will it be durable enough to do something like that? I mean, it looks like it is because we have this picture here that shows it bending at that point. But let me switch the screen. Chinese display manufacturer BOE, not LG Display, is reportedly developing the panel alongside the Korean smartphone maker. The company does supply other manufacturers like Huawei with bendable screens, but has apparently come under fire for quality issues. It was recently reported that BOE OLED panels set to be used in the next Galaxy S series failed quality testing. That is not good news there. Beyond Project B, which is apparently set for an early 2021 launch, LG is said to be planning 2 additional devices. The report hints at a, quote, horizontal smartphone codenamed Wing set to launch later this year. A flagship codenamed Rainbow is also launching in 2021. These are a lot of phones that I wasn't privy to. I had no idea they were working on all these other phones as well. I would love to see what they have in store. It's something different, something to compete against the foldable phone, having a rollable phone. I just don't know how. I don't know. I'm wondering how. I don't know if I would be annoyed having to roll my phone out every single time I want to check the display, you know? Or if I pulled it out, would I already have a display and then I would just pull out the rest of it to expand it if needed? These are questions that I need to know. maybe that's how it is. So maybe this is how it originally comes, right? It looks like this first here on the top left, and then I can pull it out to get extra additional screen. So I could just pull the phone out of my pocket without, and just having the display as is. And then if I needed to expand it, then I could, which that's not bad at all. I think it's a cool idea. We'll see. All right. Hopkins says it's a tablet, not a phone anymore. I mean, you're right. And Deepak says the same thing. That's a mini tablet, not a phone. Oh, are you guys talking about, you guys are talking about the 7-inch Honor X10 Max. Right. No, you guys are right. That's a huge phone. Paul says, Honor equals Huawei. So Android, you said. That's actually, I wonder. Well, I mean, they're able to use AOSP, right? So they can have Android on it. It's just they can't work with Google. So I don't know. We'll see, Paul. I have no idea. Yeah. Why is saying Paul, Huawei still has Android, just no Google services. Team Verizon says skeptical about the rolling design. Wonder how it'll turn out. No pun intended. How it'll roll out. Anyway, yeah, I don't know either. I have no idea how good it's going to be. But all right, so let's continue on, guys. This article from Slash Gear is talking about the iPhone 12 Pro might not get that 120 hertz display after all. If it doesn't come out with a 120 hertz display, I'll be bummed out. At this point, I've been expecting 120 hertz for at least the iPhone 12 Pro. But Apple is slowly blurring the lines that separate its devices and platforms. This year's iPhones, for example, may even look like the miniature iPad Pros. That doesn't mean it will get the same features, but there's still some discussion on what features the iPhone 12 may inherit from Apple's slates. As with the LiDAR camera, there is still no consensus on whether any of the iPhones will finally have a ProMotion display, and the latest insider tip leans more on the side of no. Which makes me question then, if it's not going to have 120 hertz for the Pro, will it have 90? Or will it stick to the typical 60? I feel like it's hard to justify a $350 price hike on the iPhone 12 Pro. When I say 100 or 350, I'm assuming that the iPhone 12 will be priced at $650 and then the Pro at 1,000. And I really feel like there needs to be a bigger differentiator than just a telephoto camera, LiDAR, which I'm not even sure how we're going to be able to really use that. And I really felt that having a 120 hertz display would really help make a difference between the two phones. Apple first introduced the ProMotion display on the 2017 iPad Pro, its marketing name for a screen technology that is capable of achieving 120 hertz refresh rates. It delivered smoother scrolling and animations, which in turn improved the tablet's responsiveness. It also reduced the latency of the Apple Pencil down to 20 milliseconds. It doesn't come without a price, and that may be the reason why Apple is holding the feature back from the iPhone for now. The higher refresh itself, as well as the dynamic switching between 60 and 120, has proven to be a battery drain. Not much of a problem on a large slab like an iPad Pro, but it would definitely bleed an iPhone battery dry. I guess that's a fair enough point. According to display supply chain consultants, our CEO Ross Young, none of his sources could confirm as 120 hertz display for the iPhone 12 Pro and presumably the iPhone 12 Pro Max as well. This contradicts claims by other major leak sources that are just as confident about their insider sources that these iPhones will indeed have ProMotion screens. So yeah, none of our contacts could corroborate iPhone 12 Pro models as 120 hertz. They told us 2021. No. So I don't want to wait another year. So they are off our latest 120 hertz list. Man, I hope not. I hope they're wrong with that. Of course, unofficial information will always carry chances of being wrong, and we won't know the real deal until September. Then again, given the iPhone's not so satisfying battery life, it might indeed be better to put that feature off until next year, when Apple is expected to have a more energy efficient LTPO display for iPhones. Why is it saying, given the iPhone's not so satisfying battery life? For 2019, the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro had some of the best batteries on the market, 11 Pro Max as well. I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's my slogan for everything, guys. It's always, I guess we'll see. We'll see. We won't know until later. So Ronaldo says that rollout laptop is nice, or rollout phone. They might be getting a 90 hertz display instead. I mean, something. I feel like they need to put something out. I really would appreciate 120 hertz, especially if I'm paying $1,000. But then again, I just paid almost $1,300 for this Huawei P40 Pro Plus, and what am I getting with that? 90 hertz and not 120 hertz. So, okay. To close it off, guys, did you guys see this? Actually, I'm a little surprised that it's taken this long. I'm not saying I agree with it, but this article from Business Insider says the standard price for video games may be increasing to $70 for the PlayStation 5 and next-gen Xbox, ending 15 years of $60 games. I remember those $60 days, and I was actually surprised how long games have cost $60. But it's not just $60, right? Games have cost $60 to start, but most of the time there are special edition ones or collector edition ones, so they already jack up the prices there, not to mention all the microtransactions. I play Rocket League, you guys know that, and I've spent a ton of money on microtransactions, cosmetically fixing up my car, but I've also spent money buying some of these items in the black market, right? From other sellers. So I've spent way more money on game, but like Rocket League was a $15 game. I spent $15 on that game, and I've had more than my money's worth because I've had over 2,000 hours in that game. But for games for Xbox or PlayStation, I read that the next NBA 2K 2021, they are asking for $70 now instead of $60, and I think that might be causing a wave for the rest of the gaming industry. So the first indication of that change came on July 2nd with the announcement that this year's NBA 2K21 will cost $60 for current generation consoles, but $70 for next gen consoles. When this year's annual NBA 2K game launches, it'll cost the same $60 it has always cost for current gen Xbox One and PS4. But when the PS5 and Xbox Series X arrive this holiday, the next gen version of NBA 2K21 will cost $70, a precedent-shattering shift in the price model that the game industry has used for console games for over 10 years. $70 may be the new standard pricing for next gen titles. If that is indeed the case, it would be the first change to video game pricing since Activision went with $59.99 for Call of Duty 2 15 years ago. The last change came with the switch from the PS2 Xbox to the PS3 Xbox 360, where the standard increased from 50 to 60. But as games get more complex and visually dazzling, they cost more than ever to produce. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that they cost a lot of money to produce, and there's a lot of money in general, but I don't know if it really justifies that price hike. But I'm not in that sector. It's also, I sit here and complain about, prices of phones going up, but those go up a lot quicker than the video game industry, right? 15 years for a $10 price hike versus how many price hikes have we gotten when it comes to phones year over year over year? Over the years, game publishers have sought other methods of getting players to pay more. The annual Call of Duty games, for instance, have collector's editions. There you go, just like I was saying, and season passes that increase overall price beyond the $60 standard. That practice has been widely adopted across major game franchises from nearly every publisher. Neither Sony nor Microsoft has announced pricing for their respective consoles, and neither has announced pricing for games. Representatives for the companies did not immediately respond to Business Insider's request for comment. So yeah, that might be an end of an era when it comes to the $60 video game. But I feel like that era ended a while ago because, like I said, there are collector's editions, there are special editions, but really the price of things come in when it comes to microtransactions. The best way I can explain that is like a game like Mortal Kombat. Well, Mortal Kombat X10, Mortal Kombat was one of my favorite fighting games that came out over the past couple of years. And, now there's Mortal Kombat 11, but Street Fighter is another big one. I have that game as well. I play both. And Street Fighter 5. And I've had 4. Anyway, they'll have these, what they do is they'll add certain characters, right? They'll add characters in the game. They'll add new costumes or new stages, and all of that costs money. DLC, downloadable characters. And you don't have to buy it, but in a lot of ways, you feel like you're missing out because you don't get that update. You don't get these new characters to play with, and you end up shelling out an extra $2.99, $4.99, 99 cents for a specific costume. And it is a great marketing move. People will shell out a couple extra dollars just to get some of these extra features. So even though, yeah, the $60 standard has always been around, I think a lot of these companies who make these games make a way significant amount of money, more money, because, they have that at their disposal. Okay. So let me see here. Ronaldo says, I knew that price for games was going to go up. It's just a matter of time. You're right. Hopkins says, with a $10 price hike, I'm okay. It's a wonder games cost 60 for so long. Right. And I'm saying the same thing. Yeah. As far as like when you compare it to phones, it's crazy that the video game industry has had a $60 kind of like cap for a long time. Team Verizon says, that's why I stick to sales and Steam. There you go. Hopkins says, best way to save money is to buy secondhand games. That's also very true. I bought God of War for 13 euros this week. Last of Us remastered for 7 and part 2 for 43 euros. So there's always good deals to be found. It is just, it's when I saw that article and saw that it's been 15 years, it just made like, in my head, I was like, yeah, it's been a while since $60 is usually the standard for a new video game. That's usually what I think of when I think of new games that come out is $60. So anyway, guys, I think that is our hour here. Before I go, anybody that's in here, if you guys haven't had a chance, please click that like button. I know that sounds cheesy. I know that sounds cliche, but clicking that like button, I think helps me algorithmically. I think it helps people find the stream, helps people get in here, talk and chat, have a discussion. With that being said as well, I do stream weekdays every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central. So if you are not a subscriber and you want to get notified, please click that subscribe button. And last but not least, if you're also in this chat, you've noticed people with green in their names. You've noticed a red Chicago star next to their name. They also get to use custom emoji. That is because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam. And you can be one too for as little as 99 cents a month. You'll get the green in your name. You'll get the red Chicago star. You'll get the custom emoji, and you will get your name at the beginning and at the end of every single one of my live streams. There are different tiers for that as well, but you can do just that for just as little as 99 cents a month. I know this is my marketing thing. I'm sorry. It's what I have to do. If you can't find that blue join button, you can just go to youtube.com/Phone Jerome/join. Those are the perks that come with the membership. Either way, it's just a way to support. And if you can't support that way, I know times are tough. So like even just liking and subscribing is very helpful at this point. So I do want to thank everybody today. I actually want to thank everybody for all the super chats today. Guys, you guys have gone above and beyond when it comes to just like supporting in that way. And I'm very thankful for that. I cannot say that enough. And I will say that every day if I have to, because your guys' support helps me offset costs. It helps me like buy new products, and hopefully I can start doing more camera comparisons. I'm really trying to divvy my time lately because I'm kind of getting pulled at all places, and I have to realize what's important for me when it comes to work. And this is something that will never go away. At least streaming weekdays will never go away. I promise you guys that. But I want to do more things, and I need to figure out what's more important to me. But I also need to pay bills, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. And hopefully one day, if this can become just a daily thing where I can actually do this as my full-time job, you guys will see so much more content, but we'll see what happens. So with that being said, I will be back tomorrow. So please come back tomorrow. We're going to do it again at 2 p.m. Central. We'll talk more tech. We'll have more to discuss. We'll engage in community, talk and chat, do what I do. You guys know how I roll when it comes to this stuff. So here comes the outro. Here's my wave goodbye as I play music. Have a good one, guys. See you later. Ruben, what are you doing to me? I'm like, hold on, guys. Jesus, Ruben. Ruben with the $10 super chat. Ruben, what are you? I know. So like, just FYI, my comments come in like a bit later, so I don't get to see it right away. There's like I think a 30-second lag or something. But Ruben says, I'm not a gamer, but that price hike doesn't help me change my mind. I need to get sales like Team Verizon. Why can't you just beat a game to get more? Ruben with the $10 super chat. Ruben, thank you so much, man. I see you here saying gotta support. And I get that, guys. Oh my God, Levin with another dollar super chat too. Levin, thank you. Ruben, Levin, Brian, everyone, everyone, all of you who are in here who chat regularly have supported me already so much. So guys, thank you guys. Let us do this again tomorrow. No more super chats today. Let me play this outro. Guys, thank you so much again for the support. I am going to continue this outro. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Ruben, thank you so much. Thank you for that support. I will make sure to add you to the, you guys see that here, right? I always have this top 5 all-time super chatters, and this just goes in order of who has donated, in terms of my whatever. Anyway, you guys know how I do. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I will see you tomorrow. Take it easy. See ya. Bye.